I do think Chabad offers the biggest sense of family on campus. I mean, these days having the ability to gather and having the ability to build up on a community is really important.
Especially this year where there really hasn't been any other kind of community on campus, where that kind of community space isn't a draining Zoom meeting, but rather an exciting, energizing place to connect with others and really have that sense of connection that's really been lost in the pandemic so acutely.
We get the best of both worlds, whereas we're being kept safe with social distancing and like outdoor events and things of that sort, but at the same time we could gather and do things that we can't necessarily do with other groups on campus.
The Chabad House ultimately is a theoretical concept. It's not just a physical space. How is this an opportunity for us to reach into our own communities? And how do we go and find our students, our friends, our peers, and bring them closer together and use this to make us all better?
Chabad has been an incredibly inviting and welcoming community from the start, and I am so grateful for the friendships and people I have met through Chabad.
Chabad is a place where I can just pop in at any time and just be greeted with love, warmth, and food.
If I had to describe Chabad in one word, it would be home.
I definitely think that Chabad has a family environment to it. I think that the community that's built here is more than just a collection of people.
Even during COVID, we've been able to kind of maintain Friday night dinners, but prior to the pandemic, every Friday night you can have a range of sometimes 50 to over 100 people here. And I think it's kind of like perfect for people who are very religious, perfect for people who are not as religious.
First really close friend came to Chabad like a decent amount, and then she introduced me to now my roommate and another one of my best friends who introduced me to another one of my roommates and her best friend. I think for me it's mainly about just the Jewish community. I feel like whenever I come here I know everybody, and if I don't know somebody, there are always people willing to introduce me. Everyone's always so friendly. There's always food in the kitchen.
Chabad is an amazing resource for the graduate Jewish community at Princeton. The Jewish community was able to turn its smallness into an asset, and we were able to gather in a responsible way to draw strength from each other and from our community. They opened their doors, and during the pandemic, opened their outdoors, their amazing backyard, to us to have socially distanced outdoor meals, to have weekday gatherings for just a spontaneous dinner, and they're always available for a casual chat or a walk.
I love the Webbs. They're like best friends, they're also like mentors and everything in between. They're out there willing to go above and beyond to make students feel comfortable and happy.
This fall, I was living in Montana with 3 other Princeton sophomores. Thanks to Chabad and their package, I was able to try to recreate a little bit of what I normally do at home.
As the pandemic hit, so many internships were canceled, jobs were canceled, fellowships were put on hold. He was able to connect me to a lot of really helpful and supportive alumni, and I actually ended up becoming a fellow through one of the connections, and I've been working with them this past year, and I'm excited to stay with them over the summer.
One thing that I'm really proud is that no matter what was happening on campus or off campus, no matter the weather, Chabad never shut down. In the rain, sometimes even in the snow, we just charged on because the students wanted to be here and we were here for them.
This space is far too small, and in the fall we are going to be breaking ground. The Chabad House space is going to go from 2,800 or so square feet to 8,000. But really we're excited to have the students and their happiness and their enjoying of that space.
Providing a real space and a real large space for study spaces, for learning spaces, for eating spaces, I think will create such an incredible community on top of what is already built here.
If there's anything I want to do on campus between now and the time I graduate, it's that I want to have as many students as possible feel what I felt in the first 2 years.
Like what it means for me in my life and how I want to live. kind of just be in the moment and slow down from the craziness that is Princeton.
So part of me wants to say I hope it doesn't change, and the other part of me just wants to say I hope it gets better and better and more people have that opportunity to really call this place a second home.